Hey there, folks. Today we are making dinner. We are making stuffed sweet potatoes. So, there you see, I have five sweet potatoes, three orange sweet potatoes, and two purple Japanese sweet potatoes. I thought I would get those just so that my daughters could have a little something different if they want. Much to my surprise, they were not interested at all. So, of course, here I'm pinning the potatoes, putting holes in the potatoes with a knife. Be very careful when doing that. But you want to put the holes in the potatoes so that when they heat in the oven, they don't get so hot and explode. The next thing I'm going to do after they all have a reasonable amount of holes and I feel like there will be no explosions in my oven is I will coat them with olive oil. So the next thing you'll see me doing here is pouring a little olive oil onto the onto my hands and coating each of the sweet potatoes down. So I don't know if you know this, but sweet potatoes are historically African food. So they are a food that slave people brought seeds over to North America for. And that's why we in North America and different places in the world all now can have sweet potatoes. But this is an African introduction to North American civilization. And it is a delicious one. So here I'm almost done. Got to get this big boy. A couple of these were big. A few of them are small. So of course, when you have potatoes of different sizes, you have to bake them in a way that will heat all of them, which means that I will probably bake these sweet potatoes for about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. And I'll probably take the smaller ones out after an hour and give the bigger ones about 15 to 20 minutes more to heat and come to the place where they are also done. So here I am grabbing my tray and I'm going to start loading these on first a little salt. That's what I'm putting on here. I'm not so sure about the salt. With most vegetables, salt is something that softens the vegetables. This is, however, a starch, a root vegetable. So I'm not really sure if it's helpful or not, but I put the salt on these potatoes because this is how I have always done the potatoes, and the little salt is not going to make a bit of difference to me. So again, the next thing I'm going to do is I will get the tray. There it is. I put my liner on the bottom of it so it doesn't get all sticky and ugly. And we're going to take these over to the oven. We're going to put them in here again at about 375 for an hour and 20 minutes. And we'll check on them along the way. Now we're going to start making up all of the things that we're going to put in our stuffed potatoes. So one of the great things about this is this can be a vegetarian dish or it can be a dish for meat eaters. So if you don't want the sausage, then you can just skip until you see vegetables being cooked, mushrooms and such, and that will be your meat. For now, I'm just breaking up the sausage. I'm not going to break it up very finely like I would do if it was spaghetti because I find that I like a little bit of the chunkiness of the sausage in the potato. I think it goes well. So I'm going to hit it up, crush it up just a bit here, and then I'm going to let it cook, okay? And so that will take about 20 minutes tops for the pork sausage to cook through. This is actually Italian sausage. I decided to go with something already seasoned so that, I could spend more time on preparing the vegetables and such. So here, I'm just going to leave that to the side and let it cook. I come back. It's sticking a little bit. When it's sticking, it hasn't cooked long enough. When it's in a pan of this nature, when it begins to separate, then you know that it's properly cooked. So I'm just going to move that around, make sure that all of the sides get brown before we go to our next step. All right. So we're going to leave that on the stove and let it simmer for a little while. What have you guys been up to? Busy? Cooking? Not cooking? I know a lot of people take January to drink water and do all that, so that might be what you're doing. But me, I'm eating all year long. So here are our vegetables. We got mushrooms, onions, and bell peppers. You can use any type of mushroom you want. Again, you can also use any type of meat you want. If you want to put chicken in this, that's great. Oxtail, I've heard people do whatever you want to do. Mushroom is often used as something that people feel is a meat. So I use mushrooms and the peppers. I'm cutting up. Obviously, I've sped this up. If I could cut this fast, I would probably have a totally different job. But yeah, I think it'll make for a delicious potato. And what we do is we just stuff everything because we do eat meat. But again, if you're doing it for a vegetarian and you like broccoli, mushrooms and onions, that's great. If you want, I don't know, asparagus in there, whatever your choice is, just think of the flavors and how they'll play together. Okay, so here I started cutting this onion up and I did get it cut. And then I realized, Evelina, what are you doing? You have a whole chopper. Chop this in the chopper. You see, 1, 2, 3 is done just like that. Same with this one. Take it, put it in the chopper, and it's done. So if you have a veggie chopper, definitely use the veggie chopper. It will save you just a little work, and sometimes that's exactly what we need. So I'm going to take the top off because I want to show you how well it cut. It cut better than I did, I'm sure. And here I will show you that if I can get this top off. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Show us the onions, lady. Show us the onions. All right, here we go. So those are the onions. You see, they're better than mine. They're all square. So we're going over to the pan. We're adding oil and our onions first. I'm just going to cook them a couple of minutes until they're a little translucent and a little fragrant. And then we'll add the peppers and the mushrooms. Okay, so with each veggie that I add, I just top it with salt again because the salt helps the vegetables to cook down quickly. And you need salt anyway just for the flavor, right? So a little bit more salt on that. Added the peppers and they're cooking up, and I let them cook a little bit before adding the mushrooms. Now, when you do this, please get a pot that's big enough. I got this small cast iron pot. It's one of 3. There's one larger and one smaller. I thought this would be enough. It is not. So make sure that when you're cooking, you cook in something the proper size, because when it's the proper size, it doesn't take as long to cook. This took a little bit longer because I had veggies stacked on veggies stacked on veggies. If I had a larger surface, it would be one layer of vegetables and everything would have been already, to the point where it was properly cooked. So I come back over, stir it up. It's looking good. I'm going to add the mushrooms in now. And this is me trying to get this stuff to fit. Now, obviously, all of the vegetables shrink down when they're cooked, which is great, so it won't be too big of a deal. But yeah, I could have prevented this just by by using an appropriate size pan in the first place. So those will cook for a little while. I put the top on so that you see that they steam down. Here I'm adding some garlic. You can use fresh garlic. In this case, I use some minced garlic that they minced at the store, and I bought the jar of it. I also use some garlic and herb seasoning right there. So that's what you see me pouring in. And we're going to let this cook for a little bit. And then we'll add some Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. Child, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Worcestershire. I don't know. I don't know what they're calling it over there. Worcestershire. Okay, so these are the things I use: the garlic and herb salt seasoning, and Lee and Parents Worcestershire sauce, and a little salt. So you can use those, or you can use whatever you wish. Finally, those are the veggies are done. The potatoes are out of the oven, so let's go on and fill it up. So I'm going to cut it 2 ways so I can make sure that I can get it. It's super hot. Don't want to burn my fingers to death. So busted it open right there. That is a purple Japanese sweet potato. And the first thing I'm going to do is get some margarine to add to it. That has a little salt in it, gives it a nice creamy flavor. You can use butter too. You can use tahini if that's your thing. You know, this is really about you. So it's like nachos. You put on your nachos or your pizza or your whatever you want. And you can do the same with a stuffed sweet potato, except here you're getting everything you need. You have healthy starches, you have healthy fat, you have lots of vegetables. We're going to have some meat. If you're a vegetarian, you can obviously add a lot more vegetables. Here I'm adding some cheese, which is a good fat, to the potatoes. And then I'm going to go in and add some of the Italian sausage. So a few chunks. You see, I like it nice and chunky like that. You may want to cook it smaller if that's your choice. That whatever works for you. And then added some vegetables. And I'm finishing it off with a little sour cream. So there is our stuffed baked potato. And I'm going to get our girl in here to tell me how it is. All right. How is it, baby? Okay. All right. Great. So she enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. Have a great day. Bye.